talking about child development. And I mean, that's a big topic. So common questions are about challenges you've had and all this with your kid. And I'm currently in my sophomore year of high school. And I took this class called child development. And I thought it was only going to be fun and games, play with little kitties and go back to school. Instead, I ended up coming out of there knowing a lot more than going in. And I think the biggest thing I took away from being in child development would be how to correct a situation that you don't see as right in a way that they will retain it, and a way that they'll know what you mean is wrong, and then a way to teach them in an appropriate manner that they will retain knowledge. And you may think that's easy, but it's actually not. I was assigned Adeline. Well, I chose Adeline. And the reason why I chose Adeline was like the first bonding situation we had. And that would be when we walked into Mrs. Harris's classroom, Adeline's teacher. We were just standing there and they were talking to Miss Harris, and then they were assigned to just go play, and we chose our buddies. Well, instead of going and playing, Adeline ran up to me and just hugged my legs. And I know that sounds kind of childish, but it was so cute. And I mean, she's adorable in herself. I mean, she's really short with blonde and blue eyes. She's so cute. But her hugging my legs and then looking up at me and saying, "High school buddy," I just thought it was amazing. And so I just decided to stick with her. So Adeline was my buddy, and I believe the most difficult thing for Adeline to recover would be the ILS standard for fine motor skills. And what I mean by that is, in the beginning, we drew pictures, and I tried to have her trace my hand on a piece of paper. And she really wasn't able to do that. And so here's kind of a picture of the hand that you can kind of see there. I wrote her name in the middle of it so you know it's hers. And she really wasn't able to control the pencil. However, towards the end, she was very in control of things, and she also retained a lot of knowledge. So I would say that was the most difficult part, and also her developmental growth. There was a lot there that she was able to maintain in the end, and it was amazing. Like how much these kids retain is very fascinating, that they retain all of this very fast. And honestly, I would say that's the most mentally perplexing thing about it. It wouldn't be anything about the class at all. It would just be how fast they learned and how fast they moved. Honestly, it was very hard for me to keep up with her. And like, for instance, we were talking about seasons, and she explained to me about how fall is called fall because fall the tree. And I'm 15 and I hadn't made that reference. It's just really outstanding. Another common question is, how do you now view others' parenting style choices? And I would say that one that sticks out the most to me is spanking. And I'm not completely on the side of spanking, because when I look at that, your child at that moment, I don't really know if they remember what they did wrong. So you spanking them essentially makes them fear you. And I don't really think that helps, especially with the trust versus mistrust. And that's very hard to accomplish. And so getting them to trust you is a big deal. So I don't really abide by spanking. I go off of verbal lectures in calm, respectful manners to where they understand you and you get down on their level so they retain it. If you could go back and change your buddy, would you or would you not? Is another common question. And to me, that's very easy answer. No. Adeline is a very sweet girl, and I was so blessed to have her. She is so cute, and she learned so fast. There really wasn't any difficulties I had with her, except for making lessons adapt to her needs because she was a younger one. And I understand that was difficult, but at the same time, I learned a lot from being partners with her, and I got a lot out of it, so I would never change her. A big deal along this would be pick 2 skills that you acquired during the semester along with your experience. So one skill I would say is my social skills, because Yes, I am a very social person, but that's only to people I know really well. And she was able to teach me to branch out, not just to people I know, but to others. Because if I was a little kid, I'd be talking to others anyway. So what's the big difference? I'm afraid of others' judgment, and that's not okay. It's okay to be afraid, but eventually you're going to be put in situations where you're uncomfortable and you're going to have to reach out. So that's what I need to do now. So that's what I'm doing. Another skill I had retained was probably knowing how to react to a situation. My buddy kissed another buddy, and it was so cute, but you don't want to teach those kids to keep doing it. So I had to react in a respectful manner and say, "Now, Adeline, do we kiss our friends?" And they quickly got the clue that you don't, rather than you yelling at them and then them mistrusting you. So, the biggest obstacle I've faced with this would probably be adapting skills to their needs rather than just saying, okay, here's the ILS standard, now you have to do it. No, you can't just do that with little kiddos. I mean, they're so cute and little, how do they understand that? They don't. You have to teach them step by step, and you have to adapt it to their needs. Because if one person's a visual and then another's a physical, you can't give them both the same assignment. You have to adapt it to their needs. Okay, so how do I feel that language in developing children relates to language amongst other species? Now, I believe that babies' coos and goos and little movements or sounds that they make are actually them trying to communicate and mimic us. And I also believe that in other species too, that they're mimicking others and what they see, and they're trying to branch out. I don't believe that it's a little language, no, but I do believe they're trying to mock us. And so, I don't know, I would say they're the same, almost. Give an example of another species, well, monkeys, that's the one. They make goos and gaws, but again, they're mocking their parents and their species around them. Okay, so what is an example of emotional or physical safety in infancy? I would say cuddling, because cuddling is so cute, and not only is it cute, but if you make eye contact with them, they're going to trust you. And if you get closer with them, they're going to trust you, and they're going to know that you're going to be there, whether good or bad. So you need to be close to them. That's their sense of safety, is being around someone they can trust. And if you're around someone you can trust, then you know you're safe. How do children shape their own development? I would say that the biggest one is how they're around other people. Their peer pressure shapes them and they shape other kids, such as Adeline was around Riley, Nicole's buddy, and they were together, and Riley would tell Adeline to do something and she'd say, "No, you gotta clean it up." And Riley would do it. It's really a bounce back of development growth between them, because if Riley's farther than Adeline is, they're going to share things that they don't know, and they're going to be farther in the end because they're sharing information. If you choose a career in childcare, what would it be and why? Is another famous question. And to me, it would be easy. It would be teaching, but I'm into special education teaching because I'm trying to give a voice to those who don't have one or may need a way to branch out. So it's really simple. And honestly, there really isn't a way to simply explain why you love something, just that you do and that you enjoy doing it and that people around you know you're good at it. And that's really all that matters. And I really love childcare because growing up and raising other children shapes their future literally. And I know that's commonly used, but it is. It's the truth. I mean, if you're a little child and you fear your parents, you're going to